are back! Do you want the best fan-made content for this Premier League season?
Bringing that real fan experience. Want to see some crazy?
Wherever you are in the world,
bringing you the latest opinions
and fan reactions.
Back again.
Welcome to FanPark Live.
Brand new shows every week.
UFF are going hard this year, you know. So make sure you lock in.
Come on!
Real fan opinions brought to you by Wash and Go.
What's good, people? Today's Sunday. You're here at FanPark Live with your boy Chris Kane, and today we're going to be covering the Chelsea and West Ham game. Plenty of conversations to be had, even if it was only a 0-0 draw. It was actually a pretty intense 0-0 draw. I think there was a lot of good moments that is, we can talk about, and plenty of conversations to be had around the players, the performances, the coaches. And today, because it's only me, I really think we need to focus on some real good engaging conversations between me and you, the callers. So if you call us on 0203 606 0315, I want to hear from plenty of Chelsea fans. I want to hear from plenty of West Ham fans. And I definitely want to take your take on the game. So going into the game, Chelsea, 5 wins out of 5. I think even the most enthusiastic of Chelsea fans wouldn't have expected that kind of result, or those sort of results from their team at the beginning of their season, keeping right up there with Liverpool and Manchester City. West Ham, not so much of a good start. Plenty of investment in a lot of new players and a lot of new talent going into the season, and they've had an underwhelming start, to say the least. But they faced off today. I think any London derby is always going to be intense. It's never going to be easy for Chelsea. Definitely not going to be easy for West Ham, and plenty of credit has to go to West Ham and to the East London team for keeping Chelsea at bay. Chelsea spent a lot of the second half in possession, creating maybe not a lot of chances per se, but I'd definitely say they definitely had them under the cosh, even with Yarmolenko's opportunity around the 76th minute, I think it was. And, well, let me get into it. I think the way I want to approach this show, especially because I don't have our co-host with me today, it's only me at the moment, is I want to ask 5 questions. This is pertaining to Chelsea fans more so, but I definitely have a few questions answered from West Ham fans. So I'll go through them now. These are questions I had before the West Ham game. Definitely questions I think we need answering after this result here. And well, these are the 4 I have so far. Should Chelsea fans, and this is, I want the callers to also ask me these questions too, or answer these questions for me. Should Chelsea fans believe they contend for the title this season? That's my first question. My second question is, how good is your squad? How far are you in terms of your quality away from the likes of Manchester City, Liverpool, or maybe to a lesser extent Manchester United? Third question I have, maybe this isn't a question pertaining to this particular game and to this performance, but is Hazard in the top 3 for world football in terms of players? Obviously, we know Messi and Ronaldo are a tier ahead in terms of what they're doing currently and what they've been doing for almost 10 plus years now. But how close is he to them at the moment? Is he on the cusp of being on the same level of them? Is he better than Neymar? I want to really get into that conversation today. Fourth question I have, or more of an area of discussion, is the Giroud Morata dilemma. What do Chelsea do? Are either of them good enough to lead Chelsea to a title? And the fifth question I have is, how good or how impressed are you with Sarri? So when we're ready, definitely get them calls happening, and I really want to get some good arguments happening. Oh, I completely forgot to answer this phone. Hello, you're on FanPark Live. You're talking to your boy Chris Kane. Who am I speaking to? Oh, speak up. My bad. There we go. Who am I speaking to right now? There we go. Speak a bit louder. What's your name? Yeah, I'm here. What's your name? Ben. Ben. Nice to speak to you, man. Are you a Chelsea fan?
I like Ben.
Ben, I can hear you. Are you a Chelsea fan? That's what I've asked you.
Yeah. I've been going to quite a few games this season,
Sadly.
I'm a Chelsea fan.
Yeah? What are your thoughts on the game? What are your thoughts on the game? What's happening right now?
Sadly.
Is there some issue with the reception? Can you hear me?
It was really, really sloppy, mate, to be fair. You know, that's probably the worst performance I've seen under Chelsea this season. And yeah, I can hear you.
What was missing from the game? If you think that's the worst performance, what do you think was missing?
What's going on here?
Hold on, Ben. Try to call us back.
Oh, I don't know what's going on here. What's going on?
Hold on. Ben, try to call us back because there's some issues with like the phone or something. So call us back and then we'll get into it. Have we got any more calls, Javan? There we go. Hello, you're speaking to Chris Kane. Who am I speaking to? Are these calls as bad as Chelsea were today?
Pardon?
Who am I speaking to at the moment?
Yeah.
What's your name, bro?
James.
Are you a Chelsea fan?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the game?
So I thought that were quite disappointing at times because I think that Hazard is a bit too unselfish and I think he needs to take his chances more if we're going to win games. And he tried to lay it off to Morata, but it just didn't work. So I'm thinking that we need to make Hazard more selfish and take his chances.
Okay, I mean, that's a fair point. I think at the same time, though, Hazard coming into this game, so this is his sixth game of the season, I think. Did he play? I don't know if he played the first game, but he's already scored 5 goals, which is a decent return. Do you think that if he was to become more selfish, perhaps he may score more goals, but is there a risk that he may not be the same player that he's been? Like, it may take something away from him?
Yeah, he might become less selfish then again. But, like, if he scores more goals, it helps the team. So, like, today he had a great chance. He was in a better position than Morata was, but he tried to lay it off to Morata, and Morata just didn't get to it. So I thought if he took his chances, he actually could have won the game. Okay,
fair enough. Yeah, because I remember there was the chance where I think it was Willian or Kante, one of them, must have played it on the right, and then he was one-on-one with the goalkeeper, but the angle was a bit wide, and he tried to do the back heel to Morata. And then there was a second one where the ball was played over the top, and it was a bit of a difficult ball to control from what I can remember, but he tried to obviously pass it on to Morata. And I don't know, like, if my playmaker, because I think Hazard is more of a playmaker than a goal scorer, if he's trying to give it to a number 9, personally speaking, I don't know if I would criticise him for that. But listen, what you've said is something that a lot of Chelsea fans and football fans have been saying for a long time. It's if he's going to be as good as Messi and Ronaldo, in those areas, he needs to be more selfish, just like you've said. What about other players? Were there other players that you weren't happy with? Some players that you were happy with? What do you think of the Chelsea performance overall?
I thought we did quite well. Jorginho did play quite a few key passes, but he did give the ball away quite a few times as well. I think that was due to him being tired or something. But William was great on the right as well. But we definitely missed Pedro. Oh, yeah,
definitely. Yeah. Definitely. I think with the way Chelsea play, the way you guys dominate possession, it's important that you have players that go beyond the ball. So you have to have players that don't always want to come to the ball and dribble and pass. They actually want to get in front of goal. So what's your name again? Because I didn't catch it.
I'm James.
James, listen, pleasure speaking to you. Definitely tune in. I know you're a Chelsea fan, but tune in for the Arsenal-Everton game afterwards, and then we'll have more of a conversation. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, have a good Sunday, my bro. Speak soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Some interesting points about Hazard. Oh, calls are flying. I'm loving it. Hey, you're speaking to Chris on FanPark Live. Who am I speaking to? And are you a Chelsea fan? Like, give me your thoughts on the game.
Yeah, my name's Nathan, and I'm a Chelsea fan.
Nice to speak to you, Nathan. What are your thoughts on the game?
The result was disappointing because you want to keep the 100% record up. But I think we were a little bit flat today. But I have to be real. West Ham's defensively were as solid as I've ever seen them. They gave us no space on the ball. They were compact. And I think they deserve a lot of credit because I don't think it was just us playing badly. They were also a part of this result. Yeah, definitely.
One thing I've noticed, man, well, not just noticed, I think it's been an issue for a while now, is your striker problem. Giroud, didn't really get much of a sniff, didn't have the best of games. Morata came on and had like two chances or one? Was that the one chance where the goalkeeper saved it with his face?
He had one big chance just when he came on, and he didn't really do much after that either.
What are your opinions of both players? Do you think either of those players can lead you to a title? Are you still patient with them? Like, if you were to replace them with another striker, do you have anyone in mind? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Personally, for me, Giroud, you know what you're going to get from him. You know he can hold up the ball well, even though he wasn't at his best today. You know he can hold up the ball well and play other people in, get other people into the game, but he's not going to be a prolific goal scorer for you. On the other hand, you have Morata, who I think is he's a better footballer than Giroud, but he won't be able to link up play as well. But it's like he's still struggling for confidence. He's still struggling to get that goal, that goal that he just needs. Because the fact is, he's getting in good positions. Like you look at the save that Fabianski made today with his face. It's like, how many times do you see that just go past the goalkeeper, go over their arm, go under their legs? They went straight into his face. It's like, to be honest, he can't get a break at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's really going to be difficult for Morata because there's a lot of pressure. I was having a conversation with our studio engineer, Javern, and he was saying that he doesn't believe Chelsea should be contending for the title this year. I think you should be contending. I don't think you should win it. I think you should be contending.
Yeah.
The question is that if I look at Liverpool, they've got, well, even though Firmino isn't a striker, I would say Salah is their main forward. You've got a prolific goal scorer in Salah. Manchester City, they have Aguero, they have Jesus. Even Arsenal, even though I don't think they're going to contend for the title, we've got Aubameyang and we've got, to a lesser extent, like I said, we have 2 goal scorers. Spurs have Kane. I mean, as much criticism as Lukaku gets, he still scores goals, you know. I think he scores 16 Premier League goals, which is an average return for him. Like, he still scores a lot of goals. Giroud and Morata aren't those type of goal scorers. You wouldn't you wouldn't describe them as goal scorers. So, what are your expectations for Chelsea? And do you think Morata and Giroud will be strikers capable of taking you to wherever you think you can get to?
Personally, I think we should challenge for the title. I don't expect us to win it because I think Liverpool and Man City are ahead of us, but I do think that we are above the rest of the top 6. If you look at I think we do have a striker problem in terms of us winning the league, but in terms of us just making top 4, I think we've got miles enough. Like, Giroud's not a prolific striker, and neither is Morata, but they're both going to get you around. They should both get you around the 10 goal a season mark.
10
should at least get.
What are you talking about? Just in the league, yeah?
10 goals a season, not each, but like one of them in this full season would get you around 10 goals a season.
I think you're underplaying him a little bit because even Giroud, bearing in mind, he was starting regularly. I think he max.
No. But like as they're going to be interchanging across the season.
True. That makes sense.
But like, and if you put those goals together, like, you're going to get a decent return from them. Even though I don't think that's going to be enough to win the league, it's definitely going to be able to bring us up the table and probably push us into that third position, because I think we are probably the third best team in the league. If you look at like our squad, people might say that our squad isn't very deep. If you look at for player, we have a defence that you can slip a lot of people in, like Christensen can't get in our team. We've got Gary Cahill, some people think is still liability, but he's still a solid player and can do a job. We've got in our front ranks, even Willian or Pedro can't start every game.
Yeah.
Like Loftus-Cheek and Barkley are still fighting it out to try and get on the bench sometimes. So it's like we've got a very, very good squad. It's just
the
at
balance.
the moment we're just missing that key striker. I think, like, in modern football, I don't think you need the 25 goal a season striker to win a Premier League, but you need a striker that's going to either score those goals or get other people to another level, like Firmino's doing with Liverpool.
Yeah, listen.
Like, you need someone that can either, like a Firmino, link up the play so well that all the other players' abilities are elevated to that next level. But I don't think we have that player at the moment.
Okay, listen, Nathan, you made some excellent points, and I'm going to touch on them a little bit later, because I think something interesting that you said about not needing a 25-goal striker. So, listen, thank you very much for your call. Please stay tuned in. We're going to be covering the Arsenal-Everton game, and then even though you're a Chelsea fan, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that too, okay? Listen, have a good Sunday, though. Take it easy, my bro. Listen, Nathan made some very, very good points there about not needing a 25-goal striker. It's interesting because conversations I've had about Giroud whilst he was still at Arsenal, I've said I never thought we needed another Thierry Henry or guys that's going to get you 30 goals a season. And a season that I always bring up as an example, even though it may be a bit of an exception, is Bayern Munich in the 2012-2013 season. Their top goal scorer in the league, even though Bundesliga games are only 34 games, actually only scored 15 goals. So some food for thought. Javerne, let's get the calls flying through. Plenty of meat to get our teeth into, man. You're talking to your boy Chris on FanPark Live. Who am I speaking to?
It's Ben again. I'll show.
There we go. There we go. Good. Welcome back, my bro. Listen, get into it, man. What were you going to say?
So, long story short, I'm basically just thinking that a lot of people were saying that there were some select Chelsea players who were good, some Chelsea players who were bad, but personally, I didn't really see a Chelsea player who stood out today.
I think I understand. I think the one player I would say played at a good level was maybe Jorginho.
Yeah, I mean, but it's good, consistent play. I mean, I do love Jorginho. I think he's an absolute class signing. You know, seeing him away from Man City. I mean, great bit there from Sarri. You know, with the Napoli link up. Yeah. So, I mean, I do love him to bits. But again, other than him, there was no real standout players today. I think William was awful. I mean, he was trying to get the play switched to him a lot, but kept losing the ball. He went out for a throw-in or went to a West Ham player. He didn't commit to the runs. And I know people could be disagreeing with me here, but Kante was a bit bad today because he was well out of position, you know. Well, every time I saw someone attack...
So, sorry to interrupt you. Like, Ben, let's stay on that Kante point that you just made, right? So, Kante, when he arrived at Leicester, didn't actually play as that ball-winning box-to-box midfielder. There was actually a few, like during the earlier parts of that season, he was actually playing like on the right. So
yeah, I know that.
No. So no, like I'm with you. Like I'm not disputing it. Yeah. So obviously, Sarri's come in. He's going to play 4-3-3 with the holding midfield and two centre midfielders. Jorginho's actually been very good since he's arrived. So how would you solve that issue with Kante then? Because you don't want to take away from what made him, you know, Player of the Year. Like, how would you go about that?
When you look at when we won the league, look at how Kante was playing when we won the league under Conte. You know, he was a solid centre mid. He could play box to box, but he didn't commit that much to attack. He was more committing to counter attacks and trying to get the ball back off players that were countering against us.
Yeah,
and you know, it's a very good saying that everyone says is "Don't fix stone that isn't broken." And Kante playing as a box to box midfielder, you know, making runs and intercepting. It's very, very clear that you shouldn't fix that. You know, we've got wingers. I mean, if we were going to play like a young, pacey winger that we were trying to play with Kante, then why didn't we play Hudson-Odoi? Because Pedro's injured. William is very inconsistent. You know, when William's on his A game, he's a very good player, but you could clearly see that William wasn't up for it today, and that really only leaves one more person, which is Hudson-Odoi. And you know, I was at the Charity Shield game when he played against Man City, and I thought he stood out really, really well. Yeah. So,
no, like, listen. Thank you for that call. I'm going to touch on Hudson-Odoi and Kante a little bit more. Calling for the Arsenal-Everton game, okay? I expect to hear from you because you talk football really well. I've only ever seen Hudson-Odoi when he played for the England youth team when they won the World Cup. He was playing on the left more so he was very impressive. Like Ben just said, against Man City in the Charity Shield, he was really, really good too. With Kante, I don't know. It's a difficult one because even though I think he's capable of playing a little further up the field, he's not really going to contribute to attack as much as you'd want, especially when you're trying to get a goal. So is it a case of Sarri necessarily tinkering a bit and maybe playing Jorginho and Kante alongside one another? That third centre midfielder could be like a proper attacking, goal scoring, or not necessarily goal scoring, but like more of a number 10. I think the thing is when you want to change the team a little bit, right? If you want to adjust it, I think what you have to think about is the manager has to think about, okay, how does that affect the rest of the team? So if we go from a 4-3-3 with 3 in midfield where you're playing one holding midfielder, 2 centre midfielders, but now because you're on Kante to drop a little bit deeper, let's say Jorginho is the guy that you play with Kante and you play Barkley or Kovacic a little further up now to actually have a bit of a link between midfield and attack. Now, does that affect how Chelsea play in possession? Does that affect how Chelsea play in defence? How they transition in defence? I think it's good if you want to adjust it to suit your players, but it has to affect the overall team in a positive sense. Javerne, let's keep the calls moving, man. Good stuff, though. Good stuff. You're talking to your boy Chris Kane. Who am I speaking to?
Jim.
Jim. Who do you support?
Arsenal.
Oh, Arsenal fan. Okay. Are you going to speak on the Chelsea game?
Yeah, on the Chelsea game.
All right, give me your thoughts, bro.
There was someone said that Sarri should play Hudson-Odoi, and there was this thing I thought about, and how last season Sarri under Napoli, he made the least team changes in Serie A, and I think a lot of the time the fans don't know which manager. They don't know a lot about the manager that's coming in, and Sarri's the manager who don't really like to tinker with a winning formula a lot.
Oh, is that your point? I mean, I think the situation in Napoli is a bit different though, because I don't think there's as much squad depth at Napoli. They did have good players that weren't necessarily starting players. Zielinski, off the top of my head.
And Diawara.
Yeah.
Diawara.
Yeah. So they had decent players here and there that could come in when they needed to. But I think the difference at Chelsea is that, well, you've got an extra cup competition. Who knows if he plays his starting players. He probably will play more youth players and reserve players. But you've got that fourth competition, and he's still figuring his team out, in my opinion. He's still trying to see who can do what. But yeah, I think that's a very valid point. Like, you shouldn't expect Sarri to be doing a lot of chopping and changing.
I think Chelsea have the best midfield in the league, you know.
Ooh, bro, you're saying a lot, you know. You're saying a lot. Nah, I disagree. Like, tell me why though.
Okay, well, their midfield, you've got everything in that midfield. You've got, obviously, last time I told you that Kovacic a ball winner. I meant he's a box-to-box ball winner, and he's basically an all-round player. That's what I meant.
Okay, yeah.
So you've got Kovacic, he's pretty much your traditional number 8. You got Jorginho at your 6, and then you got Kante, who can play box-to-box.
Yeah.
Their midfield is better than Man City's and Liverpool's, in my opinion.
What I will say is Chelsea's midfield, I don't want to make it sound as reductive as it may sound, but they have more legs. I will trust Chelsea's midfield to be up and down more so than City's midfield. But I think with City's midfield, with Fernandinho, you've got essentially the complete midfielder. In the sense that he can play the screening defensive midfielder role. He can play box to box, and he's also a very, very good playmaker. The way they build out the back, the passes that he can pick out when he's at the top of his game, I don't think there's many holding midfielders in the world that have that skill set.
What about Jorginho?
I would say he's better than Jorginho all round. I think Jorginho is maybe as good as a playmaker, but as a holding midfielder and as a box to box player, like, again, this is some time ago, but if you look at Fernandinho's first season at City, like him and Yaya Toure in that double pivot, like as awesome as Yaya Toure was, I think Fernandinho's equally as impressive in terms of his defensive work as well as what he was given going forward. I think in KDB, because I think with City's midfield, the two midfielders that play ahead of Fernandinho are traditional number 10s.
Okay, yeah, agreed.
But KDB has demonstrated that he can play as a box-to-box midfielder as well. He has the legs defensively, fantastic playmaker, and he can get you goals. Silva is, for me, arguably the best playmaking number 10 the Premier League has ever seen. Arguably.
Who did you say?
David Silva.
I'm putting him up with Ozil. I think Ozil's a better creator.
No. I love Ozil. Like, we're Arsenal fans. I love Ozil. David Silva's on another level, and he's been doing it for so much more longer. And then and on top of that, you got Bernardo Silva and Gundogan.
No, I'm on about their starting midfield.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
midfield 3 is better than Man City's.
But City's midfield is so good that you can have Gundogan and Silva come in, and they can still go away to teams and smack them 5-0. That's how good City's midfield is.
Yeah. The depth.
All right, fair enough. But yeah, I think it's debatable. I don't think it's necessarily like an absolute thing to say, yeah, City's midfield is better than Chelsea's. But I think the way they're set up now, City are definitely like at least a tier above, in my opinion anyway.
Sorry to interrupt you. My last thing to say is the defence. Chelsea's defensive depth is better than Liverpool's, and I know that for a fact. The reason is if you take Van Dijk from Liverpool's defence, they won't be nowhere near as good. Whereas with Chelsea, they've got Christensen.
That's a good point. I agree.
Both on the bench, and then they got David Luiz and Rudiger starting. Their depth, and especially the centre-back areas, is better than Liverpool's. So in my opinion, there's no reason why Chelsea can't be challenging for a league title with the squad they have now.
Interesting point. Listen, Jim, thank you very much for your call. Yeah, like, again, me and my or our studio engineer, sorry, I sound very possessive there. We had a conversation about Chelsea's chances, or not chances of winning the title, but their expectations going into the season. And it was one of the questions I wanted to pose to you guys as fans and as viewers is, as good as Liverpool are, or have been this season, as good as City have been this season, should Chelsea fans in Sarri's first season here and after the disaster that was that last campaign, is it reasonable to expect them to be contending for the title? Now, for me, contending for the title and the expectation to win it are two different things. I have like tiers in terms of expectations for teams on the higher ends of the table. For me, maybe City are in this tier. You should be winning the title. Like regardless of what teams. Man's cutting me off midpoint in that. Like, raw fam. Yo, hey, who am I speaking to?
Hi, my name is Daryl. I'm calling from Middlesbrough.
Daryl, how you doing, bro? What are your thoughts on the game?
Mate.
Sorry, I'm completely thrown off. I was really like in my zone, like I was in my bag, and then my student engineer was just like, "Fuck all of that." Like, excuse my language. Let me just get Daryl on the phone because obviously Daryl's got something important to say. Daryl, say your piece.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I'm a United fan,
yeah.
So I'm leaning towards Chelsea. But to be honest with you, West Ham played. I think West Ham played for a point today. They knew that they needed to get a point with Manuel Pellegrini's job being under a lot of scrutiny. The fans were wanting him out at the start of the season after the couple of poor results that they had.
Yeah.
And Chelsea went out, did their business, but sadly for them, they couldn't get the goal, could they? And look, I don't like the negativity to Chelsea fans again in the live chat or the streaming stuff, saying that Chelsea are dead and stuff and the league's over and stuff. The league's not over yet for Chelsea. Look, it's only one game that they've dropped points on. So as I say, you can't go too negative on Maurizio Sarri. It's going to take Sarri a lot of time to get completely used to this league, because he'll know, because he'll have done homework and stuff. He knows that the Premier League is the toughest league in the world.
Yeah.
It's a lot tougher than the Serie A. It's going to take him a lot of time to get used to the way that the team want to play and stuff.
I mean, yeah, like just on that point there, I think the first thing with West Ham, they definitely knew that they couldn't lose. It would be really good to get West Ham fans' opinion on this. I mean, I know you're a Man United fan, and like, don't get me wrong, I definitely value your opinion on this. But West Ham right now, after 6 games, have 4 points, 1 draw, 1 win, 4 losses. Right? They spent a lot of money this year. I was looking at the numbers earlier on, and the total sum of their transfers this year were 93. Yeah, well, essentially, 93 million pounds, which is a lot, and they didn't spend that much to be where they're at the moment. So they definitely went into this game knowing, listen, I know we're at home, but let's just nick a draw. And they almost nicked a win. If you're Malenko, that is an absolute set. You missed that. I think with Chelsea though, and your point about Sarri and how difficult the league is. Listen, if you're a Chelsea fan, I know you're a United fan. If you're a Chelsea fan at the beginning of the season, if they said to you, first 6 games, 5 wins, 1 draw, and that 1 draw is in a London derby away, and then the following 4 games, because this is the point I was making yesterday on FanPark Live. I said the first 10 games is how you judge a team and gauge what they should be doing this season, right? I've had that belief for years. Adam made the point that even Pep Guardiola said something like that. He said he doesn't even look at the table until they're 10 games in. Let's just have a quick look at their fixtures, the next 4 games. So you've got Chelsea, Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. That's on the 29th of September. After that, they've got Southampton away. After that, I think this is after the international break, they've got United at home. And then after that, you've got Burnley away. So you've got 4 games there where I would say it is reasonable to expect, 3, 6, 3. I think they could literally take 10 points from those games. 10 points out of 12. And then if you were to say, okay, cool, in total you've got, let me just look at the table at the points. My maths is terrible at the moment.
They've actually got Liverpool twice.
Well, yeah. Well, I think would it be the League Cup? Is that the League Cup? Yeah. But the next 4 games, you've got your 2 title contenders at home, and then you've got a Southampton team that you're very capable of beating, and a Burnley team that are very capable of beating, because neither of those the latter 2 teams I just mentioned have had a good start to the season either. Obviously, Burnley had a fantastic home win yesterday. So, I mean, I've not had a look at the YouTube comments. Maybe that's something I should be doing. I don't know right now. But if I was a Chelsea fan, I definitely wouldn't be in any state of panic. Like, Javern was absolutely beside himself whilst the match was happening. Oh, I don't expect him to win nothing. I mean, maybe just a bit emotional. Are you emotional, Javern? But listen, thank you very much for your call, Daryl, man. I'm expecting to hear you after the Arsenal game. Yeah, I mean, let's have a conversation with the Chelsea fans and just how you're feeling after that game, huh? Oh, yeah, we're looking to wrap up soon anyway. But if we can, I don't know, let's try to squeeze in one more call if we can. Chelsea fans, yeah, let me have this final piece. Listen, you've had a fantastic start to the season. My opinion of how you've been doing so far, and especially after that game, is, well, you are one Morata chance away from nicking a win. Yes, I understand that Yarmolenko had his chance at the end, but it's been a very, very good start to the season. You've got the same record as City have, and those are the title champions. Those are the guys who've won the league last year. So just take it easy. Just take it easy. Let's wrap up with one last call, man. Boom. Anonymous. You talk to your boy Chris Kane. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Whoa, what's your name, bro?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Alright, yeah, call again, my guy. Yeah, that guy was calling from Bangladesh or something. Hello, you're talking to Chris Kane on FanPark Live. Who am I speaking to?
Yo, big man.
Yo, rah.
Yo.
Who am I speaking to?
Yo, my name is John, man.
John, nice to speak to you, man. What are your thoughts on the game?
Yo, fam. The whole team was just absolutely diabolical from the end of the first half to the mid of the second half. In the end, we did well, but what I would say is that there's no incisive quality at all in the front three a lot of the time. Willian is wasting the ball, very inefficient with the ball in the midfield with Jorginho. I think they were tired from Europa League. Sarri needs to rotate, and I think that Chelsea needs a left-footed right winger, because a lot of the time we can't cut in and shoot, and that affects us because a lot of teams know what to expect from us on the right, which is cross, and they just make the necessary provisions.
I mean, your point about needing a left-footed right winger, I mean, isn't Pedro that player for you? Or do you not think Pedro's good enough?
He's not left-footed, bro. He's right-footed.
Nah, he's both-footed. He's definitely both-footed.
He's okay. Okay, he's a 5-star weak foot on FIFA. That don't still count. He can't.
I like the plug. All right. So, okay, cool. So, all right. I take your point on. I mean, what players in your head do you think you could sign in January next summer that would fulfill that kind of role for you? Because it's all good saying you need that kind of player, and I'm not just making that point towards you, because I say it to a lot of people when they say we need this or we need that. I'm like, who do you have in mind?
Okay, fam. I'll take Leon Bailey right now, to be honest, because his decision making is on job as well as his pace and his ability to shoot from.
That's a good shout. That's a good shout.
That's a good player. I would even try Kennedy. Okay, Kennedy's got bad decision making, so allow him. That Lucas Paqueta brother from Brazil, he's on job, man. I'm telling you, he's a good wide playmaker.
Hey, my man you really watch European football, man. I rate this. I like this.
Yeah. That Ajax youth, David Neres, that kid is on job as well. He's at Ajax still.
Yeah.
He knows how to cut in and shoot.
No, I know him.
That's what we need. Because a lot of time on the right, you see, we have Alonso can go on the outside, but Hazard can drift in on the inside, so we can trick the.
So you got a bit of a balance on both sides. You got Aspilicueta doing the right side,
if you know, a lot of our combination play happens on the left side. On the left side, because we've got players who can cut in and shoot, but on the right side, we ain't got that. We just crossing it in, and that most of the time we're not even crossing the ball in. We're just twatting it in. In the Europa League game the other day, Zappacosta was just twatting it in. Willian in the set pieces from the right side and the crosses were just twatting it in. It's frustrating, man, because I know we can do much better. Morata a lot of the time looks like he's lost a puppy when he misses. He ain't got the elite mentality. He ain't got the gunman mentality like Diego Costa.
Yeah. That's real talk. That's real talk.
People think.
Oh, they cut off. John, you there? I'm going to have to end it, bro, because we're coming towards the end of the show anyway. But listen, that has actually been my favourite call in a while, because that's a man that says, we're missing this. This is what we need. This is why we need it. And these are the type of players that we should be looking at. That's the kind of conversation I want to have with fans all the time. When you call in, listen, football's an emotional game. So obviously that's going to be part of that, passion. I love all of that. But I think it's important as fans to know what we want, why we want it, and solutions. I want solutions when I talk to you guys. I want to hear you talk about players that you've seen and watched, not just guys you've seen on FIFA or Football Manager. I want to hear that type of thing. I want you guys to put me onto players that I don't know about. The players that you mentioned, I'm familiar with them. I haven't watched them properly like that, apart from maybe Leon Bailey. But listen, that's a fantastic call. Definitely call us back after that Arsenal Everton game, because I know as a Chelsea fan you probably have your opinions on that too. What were you saying, man? Yeah, we good? Listen, yo, I really enjoyed that. I really, really enjoyed that. You, man, keep on giving us comments on the YouTube page and on the stream. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Watch the Arsenal-Everton game because I'm sure Arsenal will give us plenty to talk about. And it's been an absolute blast. Thank you very much. Peace and love. See you soon.
Real fan opinions brought to you by Wash and Go.